In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to play all 12 major scales with the correct fingering. As well, we're going to be talking about the Nashville number system, chord families, songwriting, runs and licks, and playing the melody, and how knowing your scales can help you to do all of these things in your songs. My name is Christine, and here at the Gospel Method, we want to make sure that you have all the tools you need to play your favorite gospel songs on the piano. If you haven't done so yet, be sure to go over to thegospelmethod.com. We have a free membership there where you can download today's handout for free, as well as many other handouts from year 1 and year 2 and all of our tutorial videos. And if you haven't done so, be sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any free tutorials. Alright, so let's jump right into our guide today. We have a really big handout today, and I'm going to start out by just explaining some of the ways that scales are going to be used practically, other than just memorizing the notes, why we have this handout. So we're going to start with that. So if you want to learn just what the scales are, just look down below. We'll have the link so you can skip ahead. And then we're going to go through all 12 keys with the right and left hand fingering. So it is going to be a long video, but we're going to chop it up into chapters so you can skip ahead to where you want to go. Alright, so handy ways to use this resource. This is gold, is what this is, okay? Once you know your scales, it's going to open up a whole new world for you. The one that we're focusing on this month, we did have a video last week about the Nashville number system, and if you are looking to do that, that's where your chord charts actually have numbers on them instead of letters. And in the Nashville number system, it's really easy to change keys while you're playing. It's really easy to change keys if your singer is like, it's too high, can you play in a different key? Or it's too low, can you change it? The Nashville number system is awesome for that. So if that's something you want to learn, scales are really important for that. Memorizing chord families. Knowing your scales is going to help you to know which chords are naturally going to fit in which key. So if you are learning a new song, you'll know, oh, hey, that's a not in the family. I should take a closer look at that chord. Or, you know, it's not going to follow the rules, so I'm going to have to be careful with this one, that sort of thing. So it's really helpful for that. The knowing your scales is also going to help with songwriting. So if you already know your chord families from your scale, which we'll talk about how to do that when we get to C major, you can use that chord family to make songs. So those are the chords that are going to sound really nice together, they're going to flow really nicely, and if you use that chord family, you know, 99% of songs that you come across are going to use those chord families, and it's going to really help you to start writing songs and being creative. Knowing your scales also is going to help you with your runs and licks. So if you want to, you know, add in those sort of things while you're playing, using the notes in the scale is what creates those runs and licks. And so we do have another video I'll link below of how to make a fill, and I show like the really simple way of how to count the fill and the rhythm and things, but knowing your scale is going to help you to pick your notes so that you can add them in your playing and make it sound really pretty. And the last thing is playing, and there's more, but the last one we're going to talk about is playing the melody of the song. So a lot of you ask in the comments, can you play the right hand melody and play chords in your left hand? Yes, but then you have to figure out what that melody is. And if you know your scale, most of the notes in your melody are gonna be found in that scale. Again, not all of them. There might, well, in some songs it would be all of them, but you might find some exceptions, but that's a really good place to start, and it's going to narrow it down a lot. So instead of having the whole keyboard to work with, you only have 7 tones, and you're like, the melody is probably one of those, so let's start there. Okay, so that'll help you when you're playing by ear. So our key of C, down here, we have all white notes. You can see there's no sharps and flats, so it's going to be all white keys. And we have our right hand fingering here and our left hand fingering here. So we'll do one at a time. Our finger numbers start with our thumb. Thumbs are 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's on both hands. So thumb, left hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right hand fingering for the key of C would be C with finger 1. And I'll do this one slowly, and then we'll kind of pick it up for the other ones. But 1 would be C, 2 is D, 3 is E. Now, F has 1. We're going to see this pattern a lot. So what we have to do is take our thumb and tuck it underneath and get to the F with 1, 2, G, 3, A, B, 4, and then end on 5. So smoothly, that little tuck is important, that you're going to want to practice that so that you can do it without stopping. Left hand, we're going to start with finger 5, which is our pinky finger. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we have 3, so what we have to do is cross our middle finger on top of your thumb. 3, 2, 1, and then when you go down, if you want to go backwards, you have to tuck your thumb under. So you'll see that pattern happen a lot where we have 1, 2, 3, and then a tuck, or we're going backwards and we have to go over. So nice and smooth, it would sound like this. Okay, so all I did there is I'm going up the key, and then I'm just going back down. Okay, so key of C has no black keys, and you can see the fingering there. Pretty simple, other than that tuck that you'll have to be careful of. Now, there is a chord family that I talked about up above, and in order to figure that out, there is a pattern. You can write this down for all of your scales. This is going to be a major chord, minor chord, minor chord, major chord, major chord, minor chord, and diminished chord. So it would be C major, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, and B diminished. So for example, if you did want to write a song in the key of C, those would be the chords that you want to start with to get used to making your chord progressions, okay? This pattern of the major, minor, minor, that right here, that works for every single scale on this chart. Okay, so that's the key of C. So let's jump in. We're going to start with some flat keys. And what that means is that all of these scales happen to have flats written down instead of sharps, and that flats and sharps are both black keys. But if you're following the circle of fifths, it just shows up differently with sharps and flats. And if you do want more information, like more theory on scales, like we can go a long time about theory on scales, but there is a whole bunch more in the premium membership, which we'll talk about after. So if you are interested in like the circle of fifths and how that works and stuff like that, that is over in the premium membership, but this is kind of the basics to get you started. All right, so flat scales, we'll go through them one by one. So starting with F major, we do have a flat to watch out for. So we have to start with our thumb on F for our right hand, and we're going to go F, G, A. Finger 4 goes on B flat, and then we have a 1, so we're going to tuck our thumb under like that. Okay, so nice and smooth. Not too bad. And then our left hand is going to start with finger 5 again. 4, 3, 2, 1. So our 2's on the B flat. Cross your middle finger over. 3, 2, 1. So key of F. All right, key of B flat. We are going to be starting on a black key here. So our fingering is looking a little bit different. We can't start with our 1. That would be a little awkward. We're going to run out of fingers. So what we're going to do with this one is we're going to start with our middle finger. So finger 3 on B flat. And we're going to start with a tuck right away. So our thumb goes under to the C. Middle, we're up to E flat with finger 3. And we have another tuck. So thumb under to the F. All right, so nice and smooth. All right, same thing with the left hand. We're going to start with finger 3, 2, 1. This one's different. We're going to cross our 4th finger over. It's not too far, though. Right next door to the E flat. And then again, we've run out of fingers. We're going to cross our middle finger up to the B flat. So nice and smooth. That is your B flat major scale. All right, key of E flat. Again, we're going to start with not finger 1. We're going to start with finger 2 this time on E flat. We're going to tuck under to F. We have A flat. And then we're going to tuck again. So nice and smooth. Left hand, start with finger 3, 2, 1. Cross finger 4 to the A flat. Nice and smooth. Good. Okay, now key of A flat. You notice as we go down the list, we get one more flat each time. And again, I'm just going down the circle of fifths. Okay, so this time I'm going to start with A flat with finger 2. And then I'm going to tuck after my B flat to the C. And then I've got D flat, E flat, tuck again. So the flat keys have more tucking. You'll see the the ones with the sharps don't have quite as much moving around. But again, that's what that one's going to sound like. And then left hand, finger 3, 2, 1, 4, 3. So that one did have a crossover on the D flat. And then again, a crossover to the A flat, okay? All right, now we have the key of D flat / C sharp. Now, what this means is it's written as D flat, but you might sometimes come across a scale or a song that is in the key of C sharp major. They are the same as each other, so these are called enharmonic keys. So if I played it D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B, C, D flat, I could also just change the names of the black keys so that they are sharps instead, and it would create the C sharp major scale. C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B sharp, and C sharp. So we'd actually ended up having to change all of the letters. But in gospel music, the key of D flat is much more popular, like leaps and bounds. I just put C sharp there so that you're aware that it exists. All right, so D flat starts on 2, 3, tuck your thumb under for the F, and then we've got G flat, A flat, B flat. That's nice, all black keys. Then this one's a little awkward, but tuck your thumb under to the C and then up to the D flat, okay? And then our left hand, we're gonna start with finger 3, cross our 4 over to the G flat. Again, nice 3 black notes in a row, that's nice. And then we're gonna just do one more cross at the end. Okay, so key of D flat. All right, and then our last one with flats, this is a lot of flats, the key of G flat. We're gonna start with finger 2, so it kind of feels nice, all on the black keys. And then you're gonna cross your thumb again. This one's a little tricky, but cross your thumb to C flat, which is actually a B. Okay, C flat just means B. C, go one to the left is B. We call it C flat because all scales have to have one of each letter. So we couldn't have B flat and B. That wouldn't be possible. It creates issues with harmony and creating chords down the line. So we call it a C flat. So G flat, A flat, B flat, C flat, just a B. D flat, E flat, cross again, F, and G flat. So nice and smooth. Would sound like that. And then our left hand, 4, 3, 2, 1, cross over for the D flat, and cross over for the G flat. And again, this one could be called F sharp major, but with piano and organ music, it's most likely going to be G flat, especially with traditional gospel. G flat is actually one of the most common keys you'll find if you look up, really popular gospel traditional songs, or like people who are doing the shout and things like that. G flat and D flat are super, super popular with the keys. All right, I know a lot of guitar players are more in the sharps, so if you do use guitar websites, you might come across more of the sharps, but normally in traditional gospel, we're going to see a lot more flats. All right, so sharp keys and fingerings, that's why I have it as the sharp ones come second, even though they are a little bit easier to play. They're just not as common in gospel music. So key of G is going to follow the same fingering as the key of C, so that's really nice. And we have an F sharp to watch out for. So 1, 2, 3, tuck under, and then finger 4 goes on the F sharp. Okay, so much easier than those flats. And then starting with our 5 for our left hand, and again crossing our middle finger over, watch out for the F sharp, and you're done. So same fingering as the key of C. All right, key of D, same thing. Same fingering as the key of C, but now we have 2 sharps to watch out for. So start up at the F sharp, cross, watch out for your C sharp, and you're done. And then left hand, same fingering as well. Just watch out for the C sharp. All right, you're going to notice a pattern here, but the key of A has the same fingering as the other one. So starting with A, this time we have 3 sharps. So 1, 2, 3, cross, F sharp, G sharp. Be careful of that. And left hand again, same fingering. as the key of C. All right, now if we go down to the key of E, it's going to be the same fingering. Isn't this wonderful? So once you get through those the flats, you have a little bit of a break. So E major, again, more sharps. So we have F sharp, G sharp, C sharp, and D sharp. And left hand, same fingering. Just be careful of your sharps. And then we have the key of B and C flat. Key of B would be more familiar, probably that would show up even in gospel music, but it is not a very popular key. So I did put both of them. I picked B because I've seen B. I've never seen anything in the key of C flat, just like with general internet browsing looking for chord charts. So in this case, we did put B. So we have B, C sharp, D. This has lots of sharps. Be careful. E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and B. We never really see A sharp anywhere but in that B major scale. The left hand is a little bit different because of our sharp, so just start with finger 4 on this one, and then that way we can have our thumb ready to go on the white key again. So 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you're gonna have to cross to the F sharp, which again is a little tricky, but you know it's coming. So 4, 4. All right, so that is all your scales. Super, super important to learn your scales if you want to do any of this cool stuff, okay? You don't have to learn all of your scales, even if you wanted to learn the C major scale first and try out some of these things with your scale and then move on to other keys later. But it's really, really fun to play around with some of these things. In our premium membership, we do have a full unit on the Nashville number system. So if you wanted to play around with that a little bit, we do have it's leveled step by step. You know how we are. We don't just throw you right in there. It starts with like the very basic, how do I even use the Nashville number system? And then it goes through how to add seventh chords and how to add walk-ups. And each one is its own full lesson with its own handout. And then we show you like some keys you might come across that are kind of like uncommon and what do I do with those? And so we have full lessons on those. And then memorizing chord families. This is really, really important so that when you're learning new songs, again, you can find things that don't fit. So if you're in the key of C and you see D major, you're like, ooh, okay, that one doesn't fit. I need to be really careful. And then as you figure it out, you'd be like, oh, it has a black key in it, right? And C major doesn't have black keys. So knowing your chord families is also really helpful. And using those chord families will lead right into songwriting. So if you want to make up your own songs, it's not as hard as you think. Stick 4 chords together in a row and see what they sound like, and you'll be amazed how fast you can write a song. We could do a whole video on that someday. That would be really fun. And runs and licks, again, I have a whole video on that, and there's lots of videos in the premium membership that use runs and fills and things like that. So if you want to learn more about fills, definitely check out that premium membership. And then playing the melody. This is kind of a playing by ear thing, like if you wanted to figure out the melody on your own, if you don't know how to read a lead sheet yet, you can use your scale to figure out the tune of a song so you can play it with your right hand. So lots of really cool ways you can use this. Again, I would definitely recommend go get your free membership over at thegospelmethod.com so you can get this handout. You want to print this out, have it on your piano. Super, super helpful to have. And then also check out our premium membership. It has a 7-day free trial. You can't go wrong. If you don't like it, you can just cancel it. But there's lots of really cool stuff in there, like the stuff we mentioned already. And we also have like how to play the shout songs, which sound really hard, but if you break it down, it's really not too hard. We have things all about the Nashville number system. We have that in there now. There's lots of intermediate song tutorials. So if you want to, you have a basic every praise, how can I make it a little more interesting? How can I add cool stuff? And it goes all the way up to like ninth chords and fills, and but it's all step by step, so you can pick it at your own pace. So each song has multiple levels, so you can go through and find what's really perfect for you, so you're not feeling too overwhelmed. The premium membership also has a full library of songs in all 12 keys, and these are all really simple. Just the regular chords that you already know, but in all 12 keys, so you can practice getting out of the key of C a little bit if that's something that's new to you. And you also get access to a Zoom video class with me once a month, And in that video class, you can ask me any questions that you want, either about the premium membership, stuff you see online, stuff you need to play for church on Sunday. Anything is, it's fair game. It's just an hour where I'm there to answer any questions that you have. And if you have your keyboard, you can show me some stuff, and I can, you know, if you're like, I keep getting stuck on this fill and I don't know what I'm doing wrong, I can show you how to fix it and kind of look at your fingers and see what's going on. So it's a really good community, and it's a really good value. Most premium memberships, I'm a part of some of them, and they're awesome on the internet, but a lot of them are, you know, $50 Canadian a month or $60 Canadian a month. And ours is really, really reasonably priced. It's all in Canadian, so if you live anywhere else in the world, it's even cheaper. So definitely check that out and enjoy playing around with these scales. As you can tell, I'm really passionate about scales. I can talk about scales all day, and I do over the premium membership. So I'm going to stop this video now before it goes too long. But if you haven't done so, be sure to subscribe to this channel because we have lots of free tutorials and we love gospel music. And go check out thegospelmethod.com. Get your free membership for sure, and take a little peek at the premium while you're there and see if it's something that you might enjoy. But yeah, have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye!